This is Colt 091, and today I'm going to be talking about the United States black metal scene. First of all, we are listening to Conqueror, Antichrist Superiority. So this video is not going to be talking about any specific component of the US black metal scene. I'm just going to be highlighting some bands that I love. And the US black metal scene is one of my favorite scenes in all of black metal, so I thought it was worth highlighting. So, to start off, we got Black Witchery, Satanic, People with Satanic Might, yeah. Great album. This is war metal. It has a lot of death metal tinges, and I love the really raw and primitive nature of this album. It's very much like Revenge or Conqueror or early Hava Hedge, that kind of thing. And the vocalist on this album is amazing. So yeah, Black Witchery, amazing stuff. I've only heard this album from them, but Black Witchery is one of those bands that every time I hear them, I think they sound amazing. So just great band from what I've heard so far. So check out this album if you've not already. Next is Judas Iscariot, Dethroned, Conquered, and Forgotten. This is the debut EP, I want to say. Wait, no, it's not. It's not at all. Their first album was like 94, so I'm full of shit. But anyway, this is one of their EPs. This is really fucking raw black metal. So raw that sometimes the riffs get lost in the lack of production, which is kind of a cool feeling to it. It adds kind of a cool feeling to it, in my opinion. My favorite song here is definitely Benevolent Horde, Dethroned for Eternity. Just an amazing fucking song. This is the perfect black metal if you just want to go back to the early 90s and listen to like some early Enslaved, early Burzum, early Marduk, that kind of thing. Just really raw black metal. Really good stuff. And one of the better raw black metal projects in the US. Next is Profanatica. What is it? Sinking by Holy Host, and then the Grandmaster Session. This is a 2011 compilation album from Profanatica. They've got a lot of the early stuff and some later stuff as well. It has Broken Jew. I want to say it's Broken Jew. It has Weeping in Heaven, Adorned His Crown with Maggots, Jehovah Fading. Just this whole album is perfect. I listened to this album at work while I was working yesterday, and it's just a perfect record. The opening, as Tears of Blood Stain the Altar of Christ, where Paul Ledney is just whispering, is really fucking cool. It adds a lot of atmosphere, and it just sounds very animalistic. And Profanatica is just phenomenal. So, amazing album. Next, we got Xasthur, Telepathic with the Deceased. This is easily my favorite Xasthur record. I'm not the biggest Xasthur fan anymore. I still love his vocals, and I think his instrumentation has its moments of being amazing. But beyond this album, I'm not like obsessed with him anymore. Nocturnal Poisoning is very good. Subliminal Genocide is very good also, but it's a bit too riffless for me to really enjoy it properly. But Telepathic with the Deceased, I'd say, is that perfect gray zone between those two records. Let's see. Abysmal Depths Are Flooded, Murdered Echoes of the Mind, Cursed Revelations, and let's see, what else? Slaughtered Useless Beings in a Nihilistic Dream. This whole album is definitely the best thing he ever put out, and it's just a really great album. Murdered Echoes of the Mind was actually the first black metal song I ever heard. So, yeah, amazing album. Just a very misanthropic and very atmospheric and just depressing record. So, amazing album. Next is Hava Hedge, Dethrone the Son of God. This is, by a lot of people's book, one of the founders of the US black metal scene, along with Vaughn. I have heard Vaughn, Satanic Blood, I want to say is what it's called. Great stuff, but I don't have it on CD, unfortunately, because the CD is hard to find. But I love both Hava Hedge and Vaughn. But yeah, this album is fucking killer. The King of the Jews, Final Hour of Christ, Weeping in Heaven, Fucking You Sacred Assholes. These titles are very awesome. And then the last song, which is basically a black metal acapella, Dethrone the Son of God. Killer fucking song. It really showcases Paul Ledney's vocals. And they're those kind of vocals that aren't calculated at all. They're just so fucking barbaric, and I really like that about them. So, this album is amazing. I'm sure most of you know this album, but for those of you that don't, you should really check it out. It's just an amazing album. Next, we got Weregoat, Existential Rites of Infernal Fornication. If you look, where is it? Right there. You can't really see, but I have a Weregoat flag right there. So, yeah. Weregoat is from my area, being Portland, which makes me really happy because Portland is famous for its shit music scene. So, whenever we get a band like Weregoat to just come and cleanse Portland out with all the fucking shit that they have, it makes me really happy. Weregoat is a blackened death metal band, or bestial black metal, or war metal, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Amazing fucking record, and the band is great too. This is not my favorite from them, I'd say. Unholy Exhalations, or whatever it's called, is my favorite by them. But this album kicks ass also. As Cold as the Devil's Seed, At Full Moon She Bleeds, Screaming Forth Endless Blasphemies, and Emitting Foul Seed Upon the Pitiful Face of Benevolence. Those are some amazing songs. And the vocalist of this album is just fucking amazing. It sounds like a bear just groaning in the microphone. And the instrumentation is just pure chaos. It's very Revenge and like Black Witchery-esque, and I love it. So the main reason I love this band is because it's a really fucking gross black metal band from Portland, which is just so cool because Portland has a very bad metal scene, if I'm honest. Next we got Lamp and Murmur, Air of Ecliptical Romanticism. I have not heard this whole album. I've only heard, I want to say, like the first 3 songs. But what I've heard of this is fucking phenomenal. Really, really raw black metal. Very reminiscent of something like, say, Burzum, or like Visage Diver, or like even Judas Iscariot. Just amazing stuff. So, I've not heard this whole album, like I've said, but the little bit that I've heard was great. So, check it out if you have not. And then for my final album, we have Leviathan, the 10th Sublevel of Suicide. By a mile, my favorite black metal band ever. Leviathan is one of those projects that, no matter how many times I listen to him, I just could not physically get tired of him. Like I've said in previous videos, the way he combines traditional black metal elements with modern black metal, I fucking adore. As some of you know, he was in a bunch of punk bands and a bunch of math rock bands in the early 90s, and I think that added a lot to his repertoire, as in like what he was willing to incorporate into black metal. I think a lot of black metal bands are kind of stuck in their lane because they don't have a big music background, so they kind of just do their own thing for like a couple decades, you know? Whereas Leviathan, every album is different, simply because I think he's a very fundamentally musical person, you know? Tentacles of Horror, Hell Mockery of the Cross, 10th Sublevel of Suicide, Scar-Sighted, what else? Massive Conspiracy Against All Life. All of them are very different sounding albums. This album is very depressing. Tentacles of Horror is a lot more atmospheric. Hell Mockery is a lot more riff-based and kind of more traditional. Massive Conspiracy Against All Life is just buzzsaw. That is a buzzsaw fucking album. The first song, specifically, just sounds like a fucking bunch of bees attacking the microphone. And then Scar-Sighted is basically has a lot of death metal influences. So yeah, all their albums, his albums are very unique. And then you got, Lurker Chalice shit, which is just even more unique, you know? So, for me, the king of U.S. black metal is Leviathan. That's a very popular opinion, but, I mean, I love Leviathan. What can I say? So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I forgot the Herod poster that I ordered last time. They were supposed to arrive. Finally came. It's right there, as you can see it. It says Dawn of Satan's Millennium. It's a song from the Oath of Black Blood compilation album, I want to say. So yeah, there's that, and then here's all the US black metal bands I wanted to highlight. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to comment below. What are your favorite US black metal bands? And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.